Good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin by asking you a simple question. When was the last time you tried to influence someone? Maybe you convinced a friend to try a new restaurant. Maybe you asked your roommate to clean the kitchen. Maybe you persuaded your parents to let you travel. The truth is this: we influence others every single day, sometimes subtly, sometimes intentionally, sometimes without meaning to. Influence isn't just persuasion, it's a fundamental part of how we form relationships, navigate conflict, build trust, and create meaning in our lives. Today, we're going to explore the deeper logic behind how interpersonal influence works, not just the what, but the why and the how. We'll examine authenticity in social media, understand our communication goals, explore message strategies, identify common barriers, and consider the role of politeness and power. With that foundation, let's begin by defining what interpersonal influence really is. 1. What is interpersonal influence? Interpersonal influence refers to the use of communication to shape another person's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. It rests on 3 big ideas. Communication is goal-oriented. We may just talk, but we do it to accomplish something, even if we don't notice. Communication is strategic. Every choice we make, wording, timing, tone, affects the outcome. Communication is relational. Influence depends on trust, power, culture, and relational closeness. This is why the same message, "Can you help me?" feels different coming from your best friend, your professor, your romantic partner, or someone you barely know. Now, with this foundation in mind, let's move into a modern space where influence has exploded: social media. 2. Influence in the social media era, performing authenticity. On platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, influence is built through what scholars call performing authenticity, strategically appearing real. Influencers like Charli D'Amelio and Huda Kattan do this by showing casual moments, unfiltered mornings, messy desks, honest emotions, or vulnerable life stories. But here's the paradox: authenticity itself is carefully curated. This tension, wanting realness but also commercializing it, is what Sarah Bannett Weiser calls cultural ambivalence. To understand why people influence and are influenced, we need to examine the goals behind communication. 3. Primary goals of interpersonal influence. Every influence attempt starts with a primary goal. Den där one star and dagtar in dagtar den star dig en där, the main reason you are communicating. Examples: give advice. You might try studying earlier in the day. Share activity. Let's attend that workshop together. Gain assistance. Could you send me the notes from class? Change orientation. Let me explain why your idea of conflict might be too narrow. Change relationship. Can we define our relationship more clearly? Obtain permission. Is it okay if I leave early on Friday? Enforce obligations. It's your turn to present this week. Es dams. But these primary goals are only half the story. There are also secondary goals, invisible forces that shape how we speak. 4. Secondary goals, the hidden psychological influences. Secondary goals are the concerns that quietly guide our communication choices. Identity goals. I want to look competent and confident. Relational goals. I don't want to hurt our friendship. Instar one star. Interaction goals. I want this conversation to stay polite and smooth. Personal resource goals. I don't have the energy to argue right now. Moral goals. I want to stay honest and fair. These goals often conflict, making influence a balancing act. To navigate that complexity, we rely on strategic communication patterns. 5. Strategies for managing multiple goals. There are 2 broad strategies. Strategy A, influence first, explain later, used in close relationships or urgent situations. Could you turn the music down? I have an exam tomorrow. Strategy B, investigate first, influence later, used when rejection is likely or power differences exist. Do you usually allow makeup quizzes? After hearing the professor's policy, would it be possible to arrange one due to my appointment? Once we select a strategy, we must design our message. This leads to 3 core components of compliance messages. 6. The 3 dimensions of compliance-seeking messages. Influence messages vary in 3 ways. 1. Explicitness, how directly do you make the request? Low, are you using your car later? High, I need to borrow your car at 5 p.m. 2. Dominance, how much pressure do you apply? Low, if you have time. High, this needs to be done now. 3. Argument strength. How strong is your justification? Low, can you extend the deadline? High, I was hospitalized. Here is the medical note. These components allow communicators to adjust tone, clarity, and